July 4th, and this is going to be a hive check on hive number 4. I made a note last time that I saw them that they might need a new or an additional super. So I'm going to check that today and see how they're doing. This is a 10 frame hive. They were using 9 out of 10 in the super last time, so I brought an additional super. I put a deep super on first. This is going to be a medium super that I'll add if needed. So, like I said, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, but it's been really hot here in South Georgia, so it is pretty warm. I can hear them. So, all right. Morning, girl. Good morning. How's everyone? Okay. Everything is sealed up. I'm double gloved. My zips are zipped. Should be good to go. I have brought with me some red thyme oil and some peppermint because last time they had some hive beetle issues, so I'm going to put some peppermint in the bottom, the brood box, and I'm going to probably put some red thyme in there as well. Good morning, girls. Okay, not very much going on the top of the box here. It's not usually a good sign. I don't necessarily like when they're not good numbers up here. I see one hive beetle. At least that part's good. Right. Good morning, girls. I put a couple of hive beetle traps, and I see mostly ant stuff going on right now. Hey, girls. Now, I do have hive beetles in this one, but I think that might have been from the last time as well. So I may put a little bit of peppermint or something they don't. I found out that hive beetles don't like peppermint oil. Most, I will say, rats and mice, they don't like peppermint oil, so I've used that in different places in the past and done well with getting rid of those kind of things. Earlier, every time I've put bees in a box that's new to me, I have, good morning, girls. Good morning. Hi. I have, added peppermint oil first. And I will say this is the first year I've done that, and whether this is just a different year for hive beetles, it seems to have helped. Okay. Although there's not a lot on the lid, they're definitely building out this frame, and they're making use of it. So that is, they're already putting food in it. So that's, I'm just going to put you in the shade, girls, while I look at the rest. Alright, so that's one in use in the super. They were at 9 last time, so this is why I thought I would need an additional super, because I figured the queen is going to need some more room. Good morning, girls. Okay, so they're capping off honey here, and I have a couple of, a few drone brood here, so that's, I don't really want them, but we've got them. We've also got larvae and some others. Okay, girls, going back down. So since there's drone brood here, I know they're going to be more susceptible to varroa mites, because that's where they hang out. Okay, again, got some brood laid up here, and honey. These look less, some of them might be. And here's a queen cap, and it's not charged, so crack this cup and just get my fingers unstuck. Again, heavy use here. Like honey capped and uncapped. Alright, girls, come back down. Okay. Alright, so that's 2 in use. Well, actually, all 3 of those have been in use. There was honey in the other ones, even before they were fully drawn out. Alright, now, this one is full of brood, and this one is full of brood. So, she's come upstairs to lay. And since this is if there's not brood down below, I might switch the boxes around, actually. Again, brood and honey. At least it's a good time of day for me to see what's in the bottom of these cells. There's a few drone brood, but mostly worker bee. Same on the other side, mostly worker bee. Alright, girls. Alright. This is frame number 5. It's got brood, nectar, brood and nectar, and brood, and I don't see anything in these. That doesn't mean she hasn't laid an egg down in there. I just don't see it. So that's 5 out of 5 so far. Got 5 more frames to look at in the super. Let's see what's going on here. Again, we have brood. Hey girls, I'm just looking to see how you're doing. Got brood here, have capped honey here. On the other side, more brood. and honey. I'm wondering if she has much room down below. Either way, it looks like I'm going to be putting on. I really don't need to look at all of these frames. I see brood, I see evidence of queen. So that one's being used. This next one is being drawn out and partially used. And this one is a new one I put in there last time, is being drawn out. We're doing a good job of drawing out that. And then this last frame is drawn out, and they're filling it with nectar. Okay, so 10 out of 10 frames in use. They definitely get an additional super. I do want to peek to see what's going on below. I didn't see a bunch of small hive beetles on the frames like I did last time, so that's good. Just trying to be careful as I put these back together that I'm not squishing a bunch of bees. If I go slowly, they usually will just get out of the way. And I don't hear a bunch of squishing, as opposed to if I go too fast, then they're getting squashed in there. Alright, so the super on July 4th on hive number 4 is full of brood and food. So I'm going to add another super. Trying to decide whether to just go ahead and add another super and close it up, call it a day, or whether I should. The thing about the super that I have is I don't have any drawn out comb for it, girls. So I may be able to trade some drawn out comb from another medium that I have next door, just to give them some drawn out comb instead of just the other thing is I did still want to add in that that oil that I was talking about to help keep the varroa mites down. I'm going to be adding in some oil. Alright, girls. It's thyme oil. And thyme oil has been shown to kill, or at least they don't like, thyme oil. So alright, so I need to grab one of these. Clean this off a little bit. I need to grab one of these oil traps, these beetle traps. So I put oil in my beetle traps. I know not everybody does that, but I put oil in my beetle traps, and it's rosemary oil. So, been doing that for the past year. Seems to work well. I'm going to put this nearly empty of add a little more oil to this trap. I'm going to put 2 drops of lime oil because it's extremely strong. If I put more than that, I'm probably going to run everybody out. So put a little bit more rosemary oil in here. Put 2 drops of thyme oil. I brought peppermint with me in case I needed it, but I don't see a ton of small hive beetles. I see them in the trap. I don't see a ton that are just getting away with things. Okay, 2 drops of thyme oil. I'll put this in the brood box, since the brood is where they're normally found. And I can smell that very strongly, even though I just put 2 drops in there. So that's gonna be all over the brood box. I know for a fact that there are some varroa mites in here because when I removed some brood, larvae, drone bee larvae, a month or 2 ago, I actually saw one in the brood that I broke open, the drone brood that I broke open. So, alright girls, I know you're not going to love that, but alright, see if that'll help. Okay, I'm going to put your Dirt Sisters back on top. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Sliding it into place. Okay, now get everybody downstairs. Alright. Space incoming. Alright, I'm going to leave the lid off for the moment, and I know that is not perfectly centered, but I am actually short a medium frame, so I am going to, I would rather them make a mess on one side of the box than both sides by centering it, so I'm just going to kind of center it to the right here and go from there. Alright, now a little bit more out since I have enough population to control anything, but since it's new, I'm going to put that in there to help them along. Alright, now I'm just going to cover this up with a couple of frames for right now and see if I find another medium frame that I can give them. If I had an extractor, I might pull out the frames that I can spin. Although right now a lot of them are confused with, they've also got brood in them. However, my extractor, well, it's being given to me and it's not available yet, so I am waiting. Alright, well, they did well, and I did not look down in the super. I will look next week. So next week I will probably be removing some of those frames and maybe putting them in the refrigerator until I can spin them if there's honey down there.